Hello, hello, hello. This is the Bench podcast with the worst internet known to man over here. We got in the
And the worst host ever. Yeah.
in the top corner. We've got Alex King. Say hello,
Hi guys,
Kingy.
how you doing?
Bottom corner. Got Georgie B. Say hello.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Bench channel. We need to get these views up now, boys. It's been a bit of a slow start to the year, but we're hoping we can build up in the next few podcasts, especially as lockdown is started. Hopefully things will start to rise.
So yeah, now Bennett said that, I want everyone just quickly just get out of the way, share the podcast if you know anyone who likes football, like, comment on, if you want to comment in future episodes that you'd want to see in the podcast in the future or different kinds of content, just comment it down below and then we'll see if we can do it in the future. But today, it's a depressing week for football fans everywhere.
The international break's upon us.
International breaks upon us. There's no football content. There's no. But today, we're going to talk about the Euros in the summer. We're going to talk about potential lineups. Talk about players to watch, and we're gonna have a little talk about Southgate because I'm not really happy with him at the moment. But to start off with, let's talk about potential lineups. We've got a lot of. I'd honestly say, well, let's start off with what do you think our talent? What do you think our talent is at the moment? Like, what do you think of England's chances in the Euros this summer?
Okay,
I know, Bennett, you don't like England, so let's see from your point of view.
I could talk. I'll talk as a neutral here because, I'm in some ways it's probably the best way to be. Because obviously, a lot of England fans are going to be quite hyped because the squad does look quite good. I'm going to be honest. It's an interesting squad they've got. It seems a lot more team based, and obviously there's a bit more. I don't know. It seems a bit more fluid, the squad that they've got at the moment, like since the last couple of years anyway. But with it, I think people do need to temper their expectations though, because if you look at who's going to be in the Euros, obviously you got your France, you got Spain, you got Germany. They're all going to be up there at least in the quarters or semis.
I'm not worried about Spain.
Well, no, but you can't write them off. They've always been a solid team, and they'll give anyone a game either way. But I think if England can get to maybe a quarters or a semis in the Euros, I think that would be a good tournament for them. That'd be a really good tournament. This young side.
What do you think, Kingy? From England's
point of
view,
I think they can win it. Personally, I think they've got the forward line, like Kane, Sancho, Sterling, Rashford, Foden. Well, very good to world class players. From there, there's not a bad player in there at all. They're all very good or world class players, and they've got a decent. Obviously, I think fullbacks, maybe defensively in midfield, or a bit more the further back you go. Maybe it's not as good. It's not world class, but they've still got some good defenders and some
fullbacks.
They've also got some young goalkeepers as well. I mean, they've got two, Dean Henderson and Nick Pope, very good, talented goalkeepers. So I think this is their best chance they're going to have for quite a while. I think personally.
But do you think the fullbacks are weak?
No, I don't think the fullbacks are. I'm just saying, it's to compare the whole team, the defence and the holding midfield is probably the weaker point of the whole team. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'd say it's bad. It's probably it's either I'd range it between average to good defending to good. Well, you've got let's say centre backs. You've got our centre backs probably our weakest point. You've probably got average to good centre backs. Full backs, you've got decent full backs. You've got Luke Shaw, you got Creswell, you got Trent when he's playing well. You got Wan-Bissaka, James. Well, okay, James Justin won't be there, but
Reece James as well from Chelsea. He's been doing well this season, to be fair. So
I won't pick him personally, but whatever.
He's all right. He's done well for Chelsea. I mean, I've not seen a lot of him, but he's done quite well.
Talk about who we think is going to come into the perfect lineup afterwards, but I think I completely agree with Kingy. But I think with England, how we set up will determine on where we come in the Euros. We need to, I think, with Is it the World Cup qualifiers? Or was it friendlies that's coming up this week?
Friendlies.
Pretty sure they're friendlies, yeah.
Well,
Okay, so
I don't know actually.
So
It's
okay,
isn't it? But anyway.
So the games that are happening this week and next week, obviously. I think Southgate needs to stop faffing around with formations. Like, I think we should have a clear indication of what formation we're going to be using in the Euros with these games coming up. Are we going to go with a back five, or are we going to go with a back four? I think these games should be a massive indication.
Well, I think he should get his formation that he wants now. And then you can rotate your team, that's fair enough. But I think
formation should be like solidified.
You got to stick to a tried and tested formation, especially in say international football, because obviously the players don't know each other as well as say like your club teams, and they've obviously got to get used to each other in a shorter period of time, and obviously get used to the system that they play. So it's important that they have to get that sort of thing right, for me personally, anyway.
So do you want to?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely. I think it's important that they get the formation they want now, which they can do many different formations really with the the players can play in good positions. But I think they need to get the formation sorted out in these next 2 weeks and then stick with it. Obviously, use it for a few games, make sure it worked well, and then obviously then you can pick your team a bit closer. But you don't want to be chopping and changing your team, in the tournament. I remember like in Euro 20, the last Euros, when it was Roy Hodgson's last, and it was just disastrous. Like he kept changing his team and keep picking players that shouldn't even be in the team at the first place. So he's got to try and in the games that are more important, like get through the group stages, and then maybe like the last game, maybe you can rest a few players or chop and chat, maybe get a few people game time. But
yeah,
it depends who we get in the group. I don't know who we're going to get in the group in the Euros. No one knows, do they? Or has it been?
Oh, no.
If it's been.
I'll have a look now. So I'm sure the
I haven't even looked. Just to see who we've got.
So England's group is Croatia, Scotland, and Czech Republic. Group D.
Okay, well, Croatia will be. That's to be fair.
It's not an easy group. That isn't. Scotland will give England a game. They always do. Obviously, in terms of quality, they're not going to be as good, but they always get themselves up for the England games.
Scotland have got a few good. Scotland have got some good players. They've got a good midfield. They've got John McGinn. They've got Scott McTominay.
Ryan Fraser. Adams, yeah.
Adams, Ryan Fraser, Robertson. So Scotland will be difficult to. Is James Tavernier? Oh, I forgot about James Tavernier. He's English, isn't he?
Well,
we'll get on to that. Yeah.
Completely forgot about him.
So I think what I think that's a good segue into the next point. We do love a good squad picker on the Bench podcast, and today we're gonna say who we think our teams should be, and I think we should do a grouped team of what a bench team of who we think should be starting for England. So let's start off with goalkeeper. Let's see if we butt heads. Let's see if we're picking the same goalkeeper. Who wants to start?
Team, no, this is our own team.
We'd go through our 3 teams.
Yeah, go through all our 3 teams, and then we can see if we can put a team together using all of our teams. Okay. So, who wants to go first?
Actually, hang on, do you want to do the formation first? Because I've gone for a 4-2-3-1 for mine. I don't know
what have you gone for formation-wise?
I've gone for 4-3-3.
Okay.
I've gone for a 5 at the back. So 5 at the back, 2 midfield, 3 up front. So a 5-2-3. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So who wants to go first?
Do you want to go first? Going to get you first.
Me. Okay, so my team that I put together is I want to go Henderson at the back. I want a back 3 of John Stones, pretty decent form for City, even though I feel that with his form, he's very has gone up because he's got a leader in Ruben Diaz, but hopefully he can bring his form to England. Also, I'm going to go with Tyrone Mings instead of Maguire, because I don't think Maguire's been good enough for United. He's got a lot of mistakes in him. And I think pace-wise, I think Tyrone Mings is a bit faster than Maguire. And I've got right centre-back, I've got Kyle Walker. Then my wing-backs, I've got Luke Shaw. My wing-backs, I've got Luke Shaw, and I've got a surprise candidate that no one's thought of. And for me, out of England right-backs, I think form-wise, I think he's England's in-form right-back. I'm going for James Tavernier from Rangers.
No, I'll get to my team in a minute because I think I'm going to agree with you on that one. But go on, you can carry on with your team. Go on.
Okay, and I want my two midfielders, because we've got a back three. I think they can be slightly more attacking. So I want Declan Rice and Jack Grealish, give him like a free role in midfield. And if everyone's fit, I want my front three to be Marcus Rashford, Harry Kane, and Jadon Sancho.
Okay. Interesting.
Rashford's my maybe, because I know Rashford's got his injury problems at the moment.
We're going through. This is all like a team that if they're all fit, that's obviously.
So if they're all fit, I want Rashford to be on that left-hand side. I think with Rashford, I think partnership wise, I think Rashford's the closest you'll get to Son, with that Son.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my lineup.
So do you want me to go next then? Okay.
Yeah, go
right,
next.
Okay. So I've gone for obviously I've said my formation, the 4-2-3-1. I've gone for Nick Pope in goal.
Okay.
I've gone for the centre backs. If they're all fit, I'd have John Stones and Joe Gomez. But if Gomez isn't fit, I'd probably go for Ezri Konsa at Aston Villa.
Okay.
At left back, I go Luke Shaw. I mean, begrudgingly, he's probably been the best left back this season in the Premier League.
Honourable mention. I'd say Aaron Creswell's been up there for best left back this season, but he's
not too bad. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, okay. Right back, I was going to go Trent. Obviously, I think he's. This is obviously I've changed my mind since you've obviously mentioned James Tavernier, but I think obviously now that when you mentioned Tavernier, obviously you got to look at how he's done for Rangers this season. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah, goals and assists.
Assists. He's also another leader on the pitch. I think he's Rangers.
Exactly.
So
is he in the England squad?
No, I don't know why.
Weird. Should be.
I don't know why. He's picked Southgate's picked Trippier, whatever his name is, Trippier.
Yeah.
And he's been banned but most of the season. He's just come back for Atleti. And he's still in the England squad.
Wasn't it for betting things? He was
exactly.
Betting yeah.
And he's still got into the England squad.
Bizarre. But anyway, we'll go. My two CDMs, I've gone for Declan Rice and Jordan Henderson.
Okay.
I've gone for a number 10 of Phil Foden. And the front three will be Rashford, Kane and Sancho.
Okay. Decent 11.
Okay, that's fine.
Disagree, but decent 11.
That's the beauty of debating on benched. We have disagreements.
Okay. Alex King.
Dean Henderson in goal.
Okay.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back. John Stones, Harry Maguire centre halves. And Luke Shaw left back. Defensive midfielders, I should say, Henderson, Declan Rice, and Jack Grealish.
Okay.
And then Sterling, Kane, and Sancho.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
You've got I'm not trying to be funny, but King's gone for the pretty obvious England team. I think for that. I think I'm not dissing you. It's fair play, but
it's close. It's probably the most accurate one it's going to be. Ezri Konsa.
You know what? Like the only inaccurate one is I'd say is like Wan-Bissaka. I think
no, it's not.
No, King. Like I agree with you. Wan-Bissaka should be playing for England, but I don't know what Southgate has over him, which he never picks him.
Wait, is he in the squad?
No,
Wait, in the current squad for these friendlies, he's not in the squad.
nope.
So what? Kieran Trippier and who else is?
Okay, so the England squad to face San Marino, Albania, and Poland for the next 2 weeks is Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston, Nick Pope for the goalkeepers. Defenders, we've got Ben Chilwell, Connor Cody, Eric Dyer, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, or Trippier, whatever, and Carl Walker. Midfielders got Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Jesse Lingard, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, Declan Rice, and James Ward-Prowse. Then the forwards, we've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Harry Kane, Rashford, Saka, Raheem Sterling, and Ollie Watkins.
Okay.
Where's Sancho?
He said Sancho.
No, Sancho's not on there.
He's not in the. I thought he said Sancho. What is he?
No.
What is he doing?
What is Sancho?
I don't care. I might not sound like I care, but I do care. I don't.
What's he picking stupid teams for?
At the start, I thought he wasn't picked because of Corona, the virus, and bringing players from Germany over. But he's picked Jude Bellingham. But Jude Bellingham, he has been announced that Bellingham can't travel over for the England squad. Like German.
Yeah,
they said no.
What? So Bellingham's not joining up?
No, he's not allowed.
Coronavirus is still bad in Germany, isn't it? So
no one's been said yet to replace him. Well, at this moment in time.
Right. So I think we should probably. There's obviously a few like differences we've got in this team. Obviously, the first one I can think of straight away is Henderson.
Well, formation's the big one. What formation do you think England should go with? What's the pros and what's the cons of all these formations? Got 3 different formations here. Well, I'd say yours and King is slightly similar. King's gone for 4-3-3, but he's gone for 2 defensive midfielders or 2 defensive-minded midfielders.
Well, I've gone for 2 defensive mids and like attacking mids with like wide players, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'd do. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking. Well, this is for my 4-2-3-1, but yeah, fair enough.
So,
how is Sancho?
With formations, I think in the group stages, I think it's all right to play a 4 at the back against the slightly weaker teams. So it can be a bit more adventurous attacking wise.
Yeah.
But I think when you're playing the likes of potentially France, Portugal, Germany, Spain, you need to be defensively solid, and I don't think this England squad's capable of being defensive solid and before at the back.
The only problem is if you're too defensive, you might be more prone to errors at the back, and you might end up just like say, you got to think pass and they're going to go up the other end and score. So it's either way, you're with a risk.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there, but I look at potentially England's fullbacks because let's be honest, it's going to be Trent, Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw has been extraordinary this season attacking wise. I'm sure he's created the most chances in the Premier League. For Man United and in the Premier League, but coming back, he doesn't track back as quick as he goes forward.
Yeah,
and I think any right winger coming behind him, and that's why I say 4. That I don't think we should pick Harry Maguire because most of the times with Harry Maguire, he's covering for Shaw's mistakes.
He's not particularly fast. So exactly. I find it hard. I can understand Shaw being the team, but not Harry Maguire though, because Maguire's been pretty poor this season. I mean, like it's shown obviously with some of the errors that he's made this season how he can be a bit of a liability at the back.
For me, the only reason he's making as big a mistakes is because of Luke Shaw. How far forward Luke Shaw goes, and he's covering. Luke Shaw's
why would you want to stop Luke Shaw from making those runs and obviously creating those chances?
No, but the thing is, he should be able to. And like, I don't want to bring this on to United, but it's a knock-on effect with us having a lack of a defensive midfielder and Harry Maguire's lack of pace. And that, I think with the big teams, I think with like forwards such as you've got Mbappe, you've got what's the top of my head?
Lewandowski.
Well, he's not really fast, but you know what I mean. Like the pacey players you've got.
Yeah.
They're going to be getting in behind England's defence.
But I think Norway are in the Euros, aren't
Yeah,
they?
Norway. I don't know in the Euros.
Are they not qualified?
Well, ask the Norway manager. Okay, we'll move on from formations, and we'll obviously look at the individual players. Then we've got to look at that. Obviously, you two picked Henderson over Nick Pope that I chose. See, I find that quite interesting because he's not a starting keeper for Man United at the moment, really.
Well, he is. For me, at the moment,
I can't say I'm not really watching United as much this season, but
with the whole Henderson De Gea saga, it'd be really interesting because now De Gea is back. If Henderson's carrying on starting games for Manchester United, he will be England's starting goal. He should be England's starting goalkeeper.
De Gea won't start a game again for Man United this season.
We'll see.
You sure about that? I don't know, but
I think he does. I think he does. But if we see Henderson starting the rest of the games in the Premier League for Man United, he should be England's starting goalkeeper.
Unless they start
playing. Why though? Why should he? I don't. Because what's Nick Pope done wrong? I know obviously plays from negative side, but Nick Pope's still doing a pretty shot for the season.
Because
again,
I'm not saying anything against Nick Pope. For me, the only reason Henderson should start over Nick Pope is because it sounds stupid, but Man United's a bigger team than Burnley, and you want the players playing for bigger clubs starting for your team.
Yeah, but Henderson's not been playing the entire season. Nick Pope has though for Burnley.
I think Henderson's the better goalkeeper.
Yeah, he might be better on paper, but like he's not really played like that many games. He's not played as many as Nick Pope has over the course of the season. But you've got to have that in your team, surely.
Okay, so if you want to put stats into play, Dean Henderson's had 12 clean sheets out of 18 for Man United.
Yeah, he's not played as many games as Nick Pope has, though.
How many games Dean Henderson played for United? Well, yeah, but in the games that he started.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. It's
2-1.
It's weird.
2-1.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But like, I don't see what people are overlooking at Pope for.
He's had 19 games for United this season, and De Gea has started 29. So only 10 less games than De Gea, or 11.
I don't know. I just think Nick Pope's more better suited to this England team, especially as he's had obviously experience doesn't really count too much with the goalkeeper situation. But Pope's been around the team longer, maybe than Henderson has. But anyway, it's either way. It's 2v1 either way. But we can move on with that one.
I'll buckle down with having a back four because the formation's 2-1 for formation.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If we're going for a back four, I think I'm going to go with Kingy with the right back situation because even though Rangers have, I just think more defensively.
Tavernier to attacking. And
I think Rangers only conceded like 10 goals this season, which is ridiculous.
You can't say that then. I mean, obviously, compared to the leagues, it's a bit different, but he's still in that mentality of.
But you got to think
side defense.
Yeah, I know, but then you got to think as well. Like, even though I think James Tavernier should be starting for England, I don't know why he's been in any England squads. Not even this one. If you're going to test players,
exactly.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
We'll get on to Southgate later, but like it's a weird one because like if you don't play Tavernier as well, you lose a leader. Like he's obviously the captain of Rangers. That could be quite crucial.
I'll go for Tavernier because I did pick him. And Rangers,
Tavernier too, if it was me, but.
So centre backs like
we all agreed on Stones, didn't we?
Yeah, that's going to be the obvious one because of obviously he's been he's currently top of the league with Man City.
So you got 3 options here, and I think this shows the England squad as a whole. So you got the player that's going to play in Harry Maguire. Let's be honest, Man United captain. He's started most England games.
Exactly.
You got Tyrone Mings. You got He's been great for Aston Villa. Another captain. Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't been good recently.
Him and Konza have done well this season at the back.
And you got for me, you got the wild card in Konza, and I don't know why.
The season though.
Ezri Konsa is not good enough to play for England.
So he's kind of Cody good enough to play for England then?
No, he's not. Cody's not good enough to play for England either.
But they've picked him, so
he's just as Cody shouldn't be in there. Neither should Konza. Neither should Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer shouldn't be in there, but he is because there's not many good English centre backs. In fact, it's to be honest with you, it's probably our weakest position.
It is.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that. England have got poor.
There's not many good centre backs. When Joe Gomez is fit, he's all right. Stones is all right. Maguire's all right. Mings is all right. There's no one else brilliant. There's no centre back that stands out and you go, wow, fucking hell. He's like top. He's amazing. He's not like a Laporte for France or like a Van Dijk for Holland or
Ruben Diaz for Portugal. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like obviously, in an ideal situation, I think obviously people think Maguire would start, but I think for like a ball playing type defence, you'd have probably if Gomez is fit, you'd start him, and then obviously John Stones too.
I mean,
that's my thinking behind that decision. But obviously, it probably won't happen because I'm not sure.
What they should do is they should put Tavernier right back, and Wan-Bissaka and Kyle Walker centre back like they do on FIFA.
Gareth FIFA. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think we should go with Harry Maguire because it's the most likely choice. Let's be honest.
Well, then obviously, John Stones will be the second option then, really. Because
so will be. Yeah.
Season. So yeah, we'll see
left back, we've agreed.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go Luke Shaw.
Central midfield is
that's going to be a contentious point.
Yeah, so it's going to be Rice and Henderson. We're going with your point. I think Cam's the next point where we should be speaking about because you've gone with Phil Foden and Bennett, and
I have, yeah. I've gone Phil Foden at Cam.
Like Phil, for me, I've got nothing bad about saying about Phil Foden. Like he's been brilliant for Man City this season.
He has, yeah. He's.
And
I mean, I'll say now he tore us a new one when
he's been one of their star players, but I think people need to just slow down about Phil Foden.
Well, here's an interesting point. You've got Foden, Mount, Maddison, Grealish. They could all play there.
You're overloaded in that position, really, at number 10.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
And also, you got another one. You got Jesse Lingard. Great form for West Ham.
I don't think he'll get in.
Yeah,
great form for West Ham.
He's only come alive at the second half of the season. I mean, like,
because that's when he started.
Yeah, but it's. I don't. Do people seriously think Jesse Lingard will get over Foden, Grealish, Maddison, Mount? Really? Do you seriously think that? If they do, then let me know.
No, but he's in the contention.
He's in contention, but he's low on the pecking order out of those four.
He'll never get a game.
I think he's definitely on the list for me. But obviously I agree with you because those players.
He will not start a game for England. He will not start a game.
No,
he won't. Say that for nothing.
Yeah, I think he's definitely an option. I think he should be in the squad because I think his work rate, his movement can be definitely an option off the bench.
You got to go. Okay, yeah, you got to go with that based off form. But if he needs to do something absolutely godly in order to get past those four for me.
Wow.
But anyway.
But what was I saying about Phil Foden? This is Phil Foden's first proper season starting for Man City. Am I right or am I wrong?
He had a bit of time last season, obviously.
Yeah, but it was a bit. It's kind of a bit part player for.
So he was learning off David Silva at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he was replacing David Silva.
All I'm saying is, I look back to last season, and England's player last season was Mason Greenwood. He was banging in the goals for Man United. It was his debut season, and this season he's not scored as many goals for England, for United. So all I'm saying is, I know Phil Foden is probably will be one of England's best players, if I'm going to be honest, but this is first full season for Man City, and I think we should slow down and put the pressure off him a little bit because he's got a lot to learn.
I feel people I think people have more of a hope for Phil Foden because of the fact that he's with Pep Guardiola. Obviously,
exactly.
Well, the thing is, Foden will get. I think Foden will start. Personally, it'd be him or Grealish. It'd be him or Grealish.
See,
for me, if Grealish is playing for Man City, Foden doesn't start a game. Foden's on the bench. Foden's in Germany.
I've got there's one problem I have with Jack Grealish, and I think he's a good player. Obviously, he's shown it this season.
He's a brilliant.
But the only thing that would get to me with him is maybe his temperament, because there's times there's times where he's gone off the rails, or maybe he's not.
For me, I think you need that part of your squad. For me, honestly, on his day, Jack Grealish is one of the top 5 players in the Premier League. I'm being honest.
That's a bit much. I don't know, top 5 in the league. I don't know about that.
On his day, yeah.
He's in the top half. He's probably top 15 or something. I wouldn't say top 10. I wouldn't say top 5 at all.
I think Jack Grealish is brilliant. It's such a shame that he's not at a bigger club, and I think when he gets to a bigger club, you'll see the real.
You could say Villa are a big club. They are technically. They've won Champions Leagues, so
a bigger club. Let's be honest.
You mean
I'm talking the Man
six.
Cities. I'm talking the Man Cities, and talking the United, talking the Chelsea's,
Man City
Liverpool's.
Chelsea are a big club.
That's a different story. But
Chelsea,
for me,
you think Chelsea are a big club, and they haven't won a Champions League?
I don't care. They're not a big
for me.
club.
How are Villa bigger then?
I'm joking. Fucking hell.
Well, hang on.
Chelsea.
Oh, well, it could be.
So, but for me,
don't worry about it.
On his day, Jack Grealish is better than Phil Foden, and Jack Grealish should be starting for England.
I think I don't know. It's hard to say, but anyway.
I think it puts too much pressure on Phil Foden to be starting for England and to be our main creative source. No.
Right.
I just think Phil Foden. I think Phil Foden, if he was given obviously the time to develop, I think he would be better than Jack Grealish for me.
To be fair,
yeah, he will do. But I'm talking about now.
To be fair, I say Grealish, so we'll go with Grealish.
And for me, to finish off on that part, Phil Foden hasn't really solidified a position for me. He's been playing on the right sometimes for City, playing in the middle. City don't really play with an attacking midfielder. He's either one of the 3 midfielders or playing on the wing. He hasn't really solidified a position. For me, Jack Grealish has been a 10 for
that's the only way. The only way to fit Foden in though is to play him at camp, because you can't put him too deep because he's not a deep line player, and then obviously you can't put him out wide because you've got too many good players out wide.
So shouldn't that mean that players that the players that should be starting should be playing the positions that they've been playing for their club? And if you're going to go against their club, Phil Foden playing the majority of his games on the right for City, and is he better than Sancho? That's the question.
I don't know. It's hard to say really at this stage, but anyway, we'll move on to it. The attack's it's pretty self-explanatory. So Harry Kane's going to start every time. There's not really much competition. Well, there is competition, but not at the level of Harry Kane.
Yeah, for me, the only issue for me is Marcus Rashford, and he's injured at the moment. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't think he should be in the England squad due to his injury.
That's from a United perspective. Yeah,
exactly. That's just me being selfish.
I mean, obviously, you got if you miss out Raheem Sterling, maybe not. I don't know what everyone thinks about Sterling's form this season, but
Sterling's better than Rashford.
Say again.
Sterling's better than Rashford.
Sterling hasn't really been good this season. this season.
Yes, he has.
No, he hasn't.
He has. He's got better stats than Rashford.
Okay, let's look at his contribution this season.
Sterling will be in the team ahead of Rashford will be on the bench.
There's times where Sterling switches off for me.
This season, Sterling's had a really average season. He's only had 9 goals and 6 assists.
That's more than him Sterling made at Liverpool. That's the promising stats, but not like of the high standard that he's been having.
Rashford's had a poor. Oh wait, okay. Rashford's had a poor season. Okay, so in all competitions, sorry. Okay, in all competitions, Sterling's had 13 goals, 10 assists.
Yeah.
Rashford's had a poor season and he's had 18 goals and 12 assists.
Sterling's still better. I'd rather have Raheem Sterling than Marcus Rashford.
Fair enough, but I think
why Raheem Sterling, Kingy? Tell me why would you prefer Sterling over Rashford?
His final ball's better. He's a better dribbler of the ball. And I think he's not as predictable. Rashford's quite predictable.
I don't think Sterling's unpredictable, really. There's been times where you like
I think obviously I'm not saying don't play Rashford. I'm not saying that, but I just think Sterling. If I had to pick, at this current time I pick Sterling. Because Rashford.
I'm defending a United player. I never thought I'd ever do that, but
yeah,
I don't think Sterling's got the shooting ability of Rashford, really. Like he's not a goal scorer, is he?
Rashford's got good long range shot. I watched tons of Man United games, and I've seen Rashford right. Some of the last season, right under Solskjaer, he would shoot from long range. He'd score. He scored against Chelsea. He scored against Spurs from long range. You know, his long range shooting is good. He doesn't do nowhere near enough this season. He's
been injured, Kingy.
He runs, yeah, but even he can still have a long range shot. It's not hard. Like he's got the ability. His long range shooting is better than his close range shooting.
If you're shooting from long range, it's less likely for it to come in to go into the goal.
Rashford's long range ability shoot. I've seen his long range ability shooting.
You can't shoot outside the box all the time.
I'm not saying all the time, but he rarely does it for Man United.
Because maybe our style of this game to United, but our style of play has massively changed this last season.
But even the thing is, when he had a long range shot last season, he'd at least hit the target, or he might create like a rebound. Most of the time this season, I'm not saying all the time, but I've seen a lot of him where he'll run at defenders and he'll shoot, he'll get to cut back, and then you got defenders around him, he gets tackled. And I think he's just to shoot.
That could happen to any attacking player. That happened to him this season. I mean, then there's I feel Sterling. I don't think with Sterling shooting.
For me,
I don't think he's good enough really. Sterling shooting's poor for a player of his quality. But he's got obviously he's good at dribbling. He's got all that sort of stuff. He's quite nippy. Like he's got a fast player, but his shooting's terrible for inside for me.
In this Man City side, Sterling should be. In this Man City side, Sterling should be well over 20 goals this season.
Oh God, yeah, easily. The chances that they create every game.
They're the top of the league, aren't they?
Exactly. He should be scoring more goals in this Man City side.
Well, he scored.
You got Ilkay Gundogan, a centre mid, scoring more than him.
Could be Gundogan's had a good season, clearly.
Yeah, exactly. Sterling hasn't been productive for me this season at all.
Centre midfielders don't normally score more than the white players.
Gundogan's been playing as a centre forward for a lot of it.
Naturally,
Sterling for me.
I don't know. It's bizarre.
This season, Sterling's been a lot better. The last couple of months, Rashford's not been the player. I know he's been injured, but
I don't know
if he's injured, if he's injured, they shouldn't keep playing him. They should let him recover.
Well, that's his own decision, isn't it? Really, it's obviously down to the medical staff and Rashford himself.
Like, I'd rather Rashford, right, from an England point of view and a Man United point of view. I'd rather him have like a month, 4-6 weeks off the team, get himself back in the fitness, and get himself back into the good shape he was like around by November, December, Christmas time, around by January. He was scoring goals for fun. He scored hat tricks. against Leipzig. He was scoring goals in the Premier League. He was
Still
on
haven't-
fire.
still haven't
I
scored.
mean, for me personally, as a Liverpool fan, I block all Liverpool players from playing for England, but that's beside the
Yeah,
point.
but the thing is, like, obviously since he had got his injury in January, February, he hasn't been the same player because he keeps trying to play through it. You can't do it. You need to.
Yeah, no,
Kingy.
Kingy.
That's true, yeah.
I completely agree with you. Rashford shouldn't even be near the England squad. I don't know why he's in this England squad now.
Yeah, but
He was injured for
And now-
Leicester.
The best way to sum it up now, we'll segue into the next bit of the final bit of the podcast. What do we think of Gareth Southgate? Oh, we think
Do you know?
sort of boxing, you know.
I'll tell you what I'll say about Southgate. I'll have most. England, right? They got the best chance to do well this tournament, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. The one person for me that will ruin it is Southgate if he doesn't get it
Yeah.
right. He's the one person that can cause this to go all pear shaped.
Oh
Because
yeah.
he'll make a stupid substitution or a silly team selection or poor tactics, and you'll think, what are you doing? You know, in the World Cup, he had a good. He tactically did pretty well, and obviously.
Just a quick one here. He was a very lucky manager that World Cup.
He was. When you think about it,
he's very lucky.
The teams that we're playing against were a bunch of farmers. And then when it came to the
It was in the group. It was in the group. We had Tunisia, didn't we?
Let's go back.
Yeah, you got
Tunisia, Panama,
yeah, all go great. Yeah, and the only good team in that group, Belgium, we lost to twice. Well,
Exactly.
I'm talking of England. I don't want to talk England.
England's group in the World Cup: Tunisia, Panama, and Belgium. We beat Tunisia. Just about to beat Tunisia 2-1. We smacked Panama, and we lost against Belgium.
Woohoo!
Yeah, then we beat Colombia
on penalties.
On penalties.
Yeah. Then we beat Sweden.
They're just bang average. They're bang average. So I know Zlatan's back for the next Euros, but
Croatia, we just lost to.
And they got to the World Cup final. So it's showing here that any team of quality that England will face, they're going to come unstuck against.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean,
for me, Southgate is not. He's not good enough at all. Like the squads that he's picking, and I don't know if we don't know if clubs have told Southgate we don't want players to play for England. We don't know this. It could be happening behind the scenes, and we don't know. But for me,
I know. From a Liverpool perspective, I know Klopp's been doing that with some of the international players. Whether or not he's for maybe
looking at the squad, looking at the latest England squad, the players that shouldn't be playing. Starting off with Eric Dyer, shouldn't be starting.
Yeah.
Kieran Trippier shouldn't be starting.
Yeah.
And playing Calvin Phillips. I don't know why he's in the squad. Leeds.
I don't know. He's done all right this season for Leeds. I think he maybe deserves something, maybe a little stone in the squad, maybe.
But okay, the thing that we say about Leeds this season, attacking wise, they're brilliant. Defensively, they're poor. They concede too many goals. Phillips is a defensive midfielder.
But is that all down to Calvin Phillips though? Because
it's a part of it.
Yeah, but
it's a part of it. He's defensive midfielder.
But when you got Luke Ayling at right back, and bloody, I don't know.
Hasn't he been called up? Or was he rumoured to be called up? I did rumoured to be called up.
If he'd been called up over Tavernier, I think there would have been like...
He's rumoured, I think.
Jesus.
For me, there's so many players that should have been playing over these players. Like why isn't Tavernier playing in the starting lineup? Why isn't Wan-Bissaka in the starting lineup?
To be fair, I have a little sympathy with this team selection because of obviously COVID and some countries not allowing people to go over. But like, if he doesn't pick the right one for the World Cup, the World Cup, the players that are not in it so far. Tavernier at Euros, so Tavernier should be in there. Sancho should be in there. Bellingham, possibly, but I don't think Bellingham will get a game.
He's too young, really. He's only like 18, isn't he? So maybe a bit too young.
The thing is, he's got to pick these players. He's got to pick the right seat. He needs to have Trent, Wan-Bissaka, Tavernier, right? and then he has to have Shaw.
No.
He needs to pick the right player. That's this. If England want to be successful in this tournament, it's down to Southgate. He's got to have the right tactics. He's got to have the right team selection and make changes and substitutions at the right time. Yeah, you might make one or two mistakes. Managers do, but you got to limit them. So if he doesn't do that, England they'll be out. They could be out in the group stage or something.
Sorry, I find the one thing I find bizarre when England choose their managers. I mean, I'm talking more obviously not as Gareth Southgate here, but in general. Why I don't understand why England don't try and look for a decent, maybe an up and coming foreign coach. But why do you have to go for these? There's not really good England managers anyway. I mean, like the last couple of managers that they've had, you had Roy Hodgson, you had.
The thing is with these foreign coaches, if they're good enough, they're playing club football.
Do you know what it is as well?
Possibly.
I think for my personal thing is the FA they might think, if they've got an English coach, they might want someone, for communication and stuff like that, or like stuff like that. And also as well, and stuff maybe you could also say, they might not have the passion of an English coach or, something like that. They might not, would you say Fabio Capello had the passion of Southgate? Probably not.
He didn't speak English. I don't think he speaks.
No, his English was known to be quite bad. But I mean, like some managers maybe some managers obviously more concerned maybe with developing players. It might outgrow that. Maybe sort of like the passion for the country. Maybe the manager wants to see like good up and coming players develop in a squad together.
I mean, to be fair,
they might take more pride in that sort of thing. Maybe.
To be fair, a manager, I know it wouldn't happen, but a manager for England that would be sick, he's a foreign coach, but he's a really good coach and can speak good English. Honestly, if Pochettino was available, he would be a class.
He's too good. For me, a coach that England probably should have been looking at, like I can see like an Arsene Wenger being good for England.
I've got one here. It's a bit of an out of there one because I think in club football he's a bit of a dinosaur now. But I think if Jose Mourinho was given the chance, I think he could do something, It'd be quite interesting to see what he'd do. But he's not got the stresses of day-to-day management, obviously. Obviously, he'll be working a couple of times a year, obviously for qualifying games and friendlies, and obviously the tournaments as well. But I think he might just have that one little challenge of maybe trying to win like a World Cup or a Euros, maybe left in his locker.
I think international football is next for Mourinho.
I do agree, actually.
I think it's perfect for him the way he's his career at the moment.
I think Mourinho, to be fair, probably would accept the England role as well. Because he's had a lot of experience in English clubs. He speaks good English as well, and he does have reasonably. He is pretty passionate. The only thing with Mourinho you'd say is
tactics, maybe
tactically, and work with not being able to buy players to fit his style of play.
I wouldn't even say tactically.
Yeah.
I just think maybe he could upset the dressing room possibly.
Very true.
So,
but then again, how can you upset a dressing room when you're not seeing them every week? So
that's true. Yeah, because he's only there to watch, manage a few games in the international friendlies. And all that.
I mean, it's difficult to say. But we could still be here all day for it. But I think this is going back to my original point. I think Southgate. I think it's a big tournament for him. I think if he can get to past the quarters, the semis, I think he'll stay on. But I think
for me,
tournament, I think he'll be on.
For me, if he doesn't get past the semis, he get the sack. With this squad, with this group of players, if he doesn't get past the semis, he should be gone.
I agree to a point, but you can tell because the English like the England fans are known for like glorious defeat. So if they got to a semi-final or like a quarter-final, then he just missed out, and the whole nation commiserates with Gareth Southgate or unlucky Gareth, blah blah blah. They'll keep him on for like, oh well done, he tried hard. But then the teams that win tournaments like Germany and maybe like France, they don't have that mentality. If they don't win the tournament, their manager's under pressure anyway because they're not done. They're not gone for the trophy. Well, but because we're quite soft in that way, that's why Gareth Southgate might last longer.
I think it's definitely possible that it. I think for me, another thing is, I'm pretty sure England will get out of their group. I mean, if they didn't, then well, goodbye. But I mean, goodbye. Basically,
Right.
what I'm saying is, like, it depends who we get. I mean, I think in the World Cup we were a bit lucky with the draws. I mean, to be fair, we had a pretty easy group, but we had, Colombia not a bad side. They had some decent players, and Sweden are okay. So they're not too bad. But we could have, in the Euros, in the first knockout round, we could face like France or something like that. It could be gone. You know what I mean? So
that's the test, isn't it? He's got to know the right. He's got to test himself. He can't play in these like weak group. These weak group teams don't really mean anything, really.
To win this tournament, England have got a good chance, but I think they might need a little bit of luck. So they might need like one or two bigger teams or better teams to get knocked out,
maybe,
and then they might have a chance. But I mean, obviously, I'll be buzzing if they won it. It'd be great, but I want to say we're one of the favourites, but I just love to win something. It'd be great.
It'd be nice to be alive when England to win a trophy.
Liverpool Champions League win number 7 all day for me.
I reckon during our lifetime, we will witness in England win a trophy. So I don't think that's not possible. But no, as I said, for me, Southgate, it's down to him. If he gets his tactics right and plays, like he did in the World Cup, and then I think we can do well. But if he tactically poor, makes silly lineup decisions, poor substitutions, or playing players that shouldn't play, or not fully fit when other ones are on the bench, he's gonna be looking at the sack door, isn't he? So it's up to him really.
Okay.
I think that's probably a good start, a good place to finish it off. Again, guys, who do you think should be starting for England? Any players we've missed out potentially? Drop it down in the comments.
What's your thoughts on Gareth Southgate as well? Do you think he could do the job, or do you think someone else could do better? Maybe. Obviously, let us know and check out the comments.
Should David Beckham come back in the squad?
Oh, good God.
No, he's into Miami. He ain't got time for that. He's in America doing his stuff in
Get Rooney back.
Miami. No.
But again, like, share, subscribe. So goodbye, Kingy. Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Georgie B.
Gracias. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
What?
God, sorry, Luke.
I like it.
That's goodbye from me. Peace.
Good evening, everybody. A pleasure and a privilege, as always, to be at Anfield, where we are hoping for another miracle like Istanbul. Shaqiri in his own half rolls it square towards Matip. Mitchell Mistake, Mane into the area. Great skill. Henderson's in the box. Henderson,
City celebrating. The party really is just getting started. I've had to wait a very long time.